from the silence that is not empty to the awareness that is never absent. Empty space is not empty. The quantum vacuum, the lowest possible energy state of space, the state that exists when you remove every particle, every field, every radiation, is seething with activity. Virtual particles constantly pop into and out of existence, borrowing energy from the vacuum for intervals so brief they do not violate conservation laws. The vacuum is not nothing. It is a structured, energetic, restless something, the baseline state from which all particles emerge as excitations. The energy of this vacuum activity has been calculated. The calculation produces a number. The measured value of the vacuum energy, the cosmological constant, the actual energy density of empty space as observed in the acceleration of the universe's expansion, is different from the calculated value by a factor of approximately 10 to the power of 120. This is the largest discrepancy between theoretical prediction and experimental measurement in the history of physics. It is called the cosmological constant problem. It is the most embarrassing number in science. The theory and the measurement agree to dozens of decimal places in every other context. Here, they disagree by 120 orders of magnitude. Physics does not know why. Physics has been trying to understand why for 50 years. The silence between your thoughts is not empty either. The quantum vacuum is the ground state of all quantum fields, the minimum energy configuration of the electromagnetic field, the strong field, the weak field, the Higgs field, every field that physics has identified. These fields permeate all of space. Their zero-point energy, the energy they possess even in their ground state, is the vacuum energy. This energy is real. It produces measurable effects. The Casimir effect. Two metal plates placed extremely close together in vacuum are pushed toward each other by the difference between the vacuum fluctuations inside and outside the gap. Measurable. Verified. The energy is there. Where it is and how much of it there is, the deepest unresolved problem in fundamental physics. Supersymmetry will cancel the vacuum energy contributions. The contributions from fermions and bosons will cancel, reducing the calculation to a manageable number. Supersymmetry has not been found at any energy scale the LHC has probed. The supersymmetric particles have not appeared. A new physical principle will explain the vacuum energy. Perhaps the vacuum energy is not what we think it is. Perhaps the cosmological constant is not a constant, but a dynamical field. Perhaps the relationship between quantum field theory and gravity involves physics we have not yet conceived. These are research programs. None has produced resolution. Accept the discrepancy as a sign that we are missing something fundamental about the relationship between quantum mechanics and gravity, the most honest position. Something is deeply wrong with our current framework. The vacuum is real, the energy is real. Our description is incomplete. 3 exits, 3 sealed doors. The Titan exists in the quantum vacuum. The vacuum fluctuations are occurring within the Titan's geological structure, within every atom of every mineral formation that makes up the Titan. The Titan has existed within the quantum vacuum for 400 million years. The Titan has never been separate from it. The Titan does not know what the vacuum energy is either. The Titan has been embedded in the deepest mystery in physics since before the first vertebrate. The Titan finds this comfortable. Existence has always been mysterious at its foundation. In one frame, the vacuum, the virtual particles appearing and vanishing, the zero-point energy of every quantum field, the seething structure of what looks, at human scales, like nothing, the 120 order of magnitude embarrassment at the heart of the best physics we have. In the other frame, the silence between your thoughts, the gap at the end of the exhale before the inhale begins. The moment before the next word arrives, the awareness that is present in the gap, that receives the silence, that is not itself a thought or a word or a vacuum fluctuation. The silence between thoughts is not empty. The awareness in the gap is not absent. The vacuum is not nothing. The awareness is not nothing. Both are the ground from which everything arises. A musician played in a concert hall. After the last note, the audience sat in silence for a long moment before applause. That silence, said the musician afterward, was the most important part. But nothing was happening, said a reviewer. Nothing was happening on the surface, said the musician. The silence was full. Everything I played was still resonating in it. The next piece had not yet begun, but was already present in potential. The silence was not the absence of music. The silence was what music exists in. What was in the silence? The same thing that was in the music, said the musician, just without the noise. Vijnana Bhairava, Dharana 51. At the moment between two thoughts, there is a gap. In that gap, Brahman. Not the thoughts, the gap. Not the music, the silence. Not the vacuum fluctuations, the vacuum itself. The quantum vacuum is the closest physics has come to describing what Kashmir Shaivism calls Shiva in his unmanifest aspect. Not the activity, not the fluctuation, not the arising and dissolving of virtual particles, but the ground state from which all arising is possible. The calculation of vacuum energy fails because physics is attempting to measure the ground of measurement itself. The instrument cannot reach its own foundation. The awareness that is present in the silence between thoughts is not itself a thought. The awareness that is present in the gap before the next moment is not itself a moment. The vacuum is not empty. The silence is not absent. They are the ground from which everything you have ever experienced has arisen, and to which it returns. Between every word, right now. There,